Hey everyone. Okay, so the decision was just announced. The Academy has decided that they're going to ban Will Smith for a decade. Now, I have not, I literally just saw it come across online. So I am going to get and read through the report, essentially, just documenting in real time kind of what it is that the report is actually saying is going to happen. So, again, I'm going to do just analysis of this as reading through it because I haven't actually looked through the whole thing yet. First thing I will say, looking at this, is that it's very clear that the Academy has decided to make a distinction that there's a big difference between off-screen conduct and on and off-screen conduct, meaning that, of course, people like to say, well, Roman Polanski and Weinstein and all this stuff, they have certain disciplines, so why does Will Smith have to be disciplined? He didn't do anything that bad. I think to hold up the integrity of the Academy, they have to actually do something that shows that they give a damn about these awards. In particular, actually, early this week, this was kind of the rumors that this was going to happen. These rumors started coming out that they were thinking of doing some penalties that lasted a decade. And that was in particular why it seemed that Will Smith then immediately came out and said he was going to resign to kind of undercut. The question was, if Will Smith resigns and is no longer part of the organization, can they then give him a large penalty then, since he's not actually part of their governing body anymore? So, okay, let's go into this Hollywood Reporter article titled Film Academy Bans Will Smith from Oscar Ceremony for 10 years. The organization's board of governors met on Friday morning to determine a response to the actor's conduct at the 94th Oscars. So it starts off by saying, 12 days after Will Smith slapped and screamed profanities at Chris Rock during the 94th Academy Awards ceremony, the Academy of Motion Pictures, Art, and Sciences has ruled that Smith, who was presented with the Best Actor Oscar later that same evening, has been banned from returning to the Oscars or attending any other Academy events for the next 10 years. If you're just showing up right now, what I had essentially said going into this, I'm reading through this report. It just came out. So the analysis that's coming is going to be essentially while going through this. One thing I want to see in going through this is if he's been banned from attending, he's been banned from returning. Does that mean, can he still be nominated at all? Any way, shape, or form? Can he still kind of be given an award even though he's not allowed to actually be at the event, and that he's not actually able to return to the Oscars or any of the Oscar events? The Academy's 54-person board of governors held a special meeting on Friday morning to determine what action to take against Smith. Until 1 week ago, when Smith announced that he was resigning as a member of the organization, he was expected to face suspension or expulsion, having violated the standards of conduct that the Academy implemented after the outbreak of the Me Too movement. So nothing huge there in that one. Essentially going back just to pointing out the Academy clearly, if you're wondering, well, if people do bad things all the time, then why is Will Smith? Is Will Smith in trouble because they have a prejudice against, I don't know, famous people, or they have a prejudice against, is it a racial problem? It very much seems like the point of integrity here is that they don't want anything to jeopardize the brand of the Academy. Of course, shouting profanities during the biggest night of the year on live TV is jeopardizing the integrity of the Academy. Many members of the industry have expressed outrage over Smith's behavior, which he himself calls shocking and inexcusable. Some even called for him to lose the Oscar statuette that he was awarded and or his eligibility for future Oscars. Okay. So it seems, okay, here, I'll finish this paragraph, then comment on this. But the Academy appears to have doubled down on its long-held position that there's a line between on-screen work and off-screen conduct, meaning Harvey Weinstein, Roman Polanski have been expelled from the organization, but each still have the Oscar statuette awarded to them prior to that. Well, then, you know what? Right now, then I feel like we're going to need more information. A question that I'm getting right now, kind of reading through this, is I want to know if is he eligible for future Oscars? If he's not eligible for future Oscars going forward, then that's going to be a huge impetus on if people are going to work with him or not. This doesn't seem, it seems like we're not getting enough information on that. So yes, going back to that, some even called for him to lose the Oscar statuette. I don't think he should lose the Oscar statuette. I think that kind of puts Will Smith, that gives Will Smith sympathy he doesn't deserve to take it away from him. Here in that Oscar, let that be. It's almost more of a sting to be like, you've got your Oscar, go away now. So the sentence is confusing. Some even call for him to lose the Oscar statuette that he was awarded and or his eligibility for future Oscars. I'd be down on him to lose eligibility for a certain amount of time, but it doesn't seem like they've said anything that addresses whether or not that'll happen. Smith, one of Hollywood's most popular leading men for decades, exploded after Rock made a joke referencing the baldness of Smith's wife. Hilarious. Actress Jada Pinkett Smith, who suffers from alopecia. Rock reportedly went off script and improvised the joke, not knowing if Pinkett the condition. She looked, nonplussed, apparently prompting Smith, who initially laughed at the joke, to snap. Let's see, is there anything else here? The Academy's CEO, Don Hudson, and President David Rubin, and Oscar ceremony producer Will Packer have since been under fire for failing to remove Smith from the Dolby Theater. That, I think they very much deserve. The fact that they did not do that is a huge problem. The fact that they did not remove him from the theater made the entire event seem like they didn't really give a crap if everything was disintegrating. They then put the blame on Chris Rock to a degree, saying, well, Chris Rock didn't really want for him to leave, so that's why we didn't kick him out. And it's like, the guy is the one that was assaulted. Why would you, if someone is in a bar and the person in the bar is going around and punching everyone, you don't ask everyone that he punched. It's your bar. You kick the guy out if he's causing a problem, if he's causing a scene, if he's doing something you're not supposed to be doing, then kick him out. If you have any respect for what you're doing, then kick him out. They have issued contradicting statements about whether or not the actor was actually asked to leave. That was terrible. They were actually lying about it. Smith remained at the ceremony until it was over, then skipped the Academy's Governor's Ball and made his way to the Vanity Fair Oscar party, where he danced to some of his own songs and then did not apologize until the next day. That's the part that makes everything seem disingenuous about what Will Smith is doing. It's upsetting that they have not given enough detail about what that means for him being able to receive Oscars in the future. The biggest things going forward right now, what are we looking at after this? Honestly, what the Academy decides is important because it can shift opinion on what other studios do. But the biggest thing to worry about is, what are the other studios going to do? Right now, we know that Netflix had a huge movie that they were fast tracking to get made. The week before the Oscars were even supposed to be happening, they were scrambling because their director dropped out and they didn't want anything to slow up. So they were guaranteeing they still had Will Smith attached to the project. He was still going to produce, and then they were looking for another director. The day after this happens, the day after the slap happens, they then decide we're not going to continue with this project for right now. They put it on pause. Bad Boys 2, same thing. I'm sorry, Bad Boys 4. Sony has shelved that project. What was the other project that was going on that they shelved? No, the other big one, the biopic. They were going to do a Will Smith biopic. It was in the bidding stage. They had Apple, they had Netflix. They were all willing to pay a little over $100 million. That was where it was at, to see who's going to get to make the Will Smith biopic. And last week, everyone stopped. They stopped bidding. No one is interested in that project now. The big one, though, the one we're really looking at, the thing that will, I think, kind of put a cap on this story for a long time, Apple has filmed what they think is going to be their Oscar frontrunner. Apple has just won the Best Picture for Coda. They're going to want to continue to be at the front of the race when it comes to streamers winning Oscars. And if you looked on their schedule, the movie that they were going to have was a movie called Emancipation. It's already written, already filmed. They were editing it. Stars Will Smith. Will Smith's the producer. Will Smith is the main character. That was going to be one of their tickets, one of their main tickets to get into the Oscars for 2023. This happens. Will Smith now seems to be even more poisonous. So looking at why this is important, I wish they had said if he's allowed to get Oscars going forward. It would have kind of made the story a lot cleaner, but they haven't made that clear. So I think that now we're just going to have to see what Apple decides, because if Apple does decide to drop the Emancipation movie, then that is showing that people don't, the business no longer has confidence in Will Smith playing for an audience. So I think that's kind of what we have to wait to see. Other than that, I think that is pretty much everything that we have. Let's see, unless someone else had different things going on. CNN is saying that, yeah, actor Will Smith is banned for attending for the next 10 years. Will Smith is not going to be allowed to attend. Well, and also, if you're watching, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think it's enough for them to just say he can't come to the Academy Awards anymore? Does that sound to you like that's saying that he's not allowed to actually receive an Oscar anymore? Because I don't think it's making that clear. It says, on this report, the board has decided for a period of 10 years from April 8th, 2022, Mr. Smith shall not be permitted to attend any Academy events or program in person or virtually, including but not limited to the Academy Awards. The decision was made during a Board of Governors meeting held earlier in the day in Los Angeles. The meeting, initially scheduled for April 18th, was expedited, after Smith announced his resignation from the Academy last week. The letter then added, the 94th Oscars were meant to be a celebration of the many individuals in our community who did incredible work this past year. However, those moments were overshadowed by the unacceptable and harmful behavior we saw on the stage from Mr. Smith. Then it goes on to talk more and more about what it is. See, that's the thing. I don't see a lot of, there's no details about what that means about it. He's able to be nominated going forward. Fuzz Aldrin says the decision is better than nothing. I thought Will Smith would skate free. Yeah, and I'm happy that he's banned and that he's not banned for, if they banned him for 2 years, it's like, what? That's not even 1,000 days. Like, come on, he could start making it, he could start making another movie from scratch, have it out in 3.5, 4 years. Give him a 2-year ban. He'll be back in no time. Like, that's nothing. A 10-year ban, that's embarrassing. A 10-year ban is very embarrassing. An entire decade, like I talked about this on one of the last streams, in terms of a high-powered A-list performer, someone like Daniel Day-Lewis can only get away from being gone from the spotlight for 5 years. And if you do that, you've got to be good every single time you come back on the stage. To be gone for 10 years, that is, if this is something that sticks around, it's become part of the public consciousness that, yeah, he's banned from the Oscars, he's banned from this. Just right now, seeing this headline, banned from the Academy Awards for 10 years, I think that's the type of thing that's going to stick for a long time. If they had only given him a slap on the wrist, if they had let him skate free, then I think the tone going forward from right now would be, oh, okay, it was a mishap. Everyone loses their cool. And look, there's been more information coming out about Will Smith and Will Smith's kind of personal situation with Jada Pinkett Smith. And look, I don't like getting into the celebrity lifestyle, but I mean, we saw someone at the height of their career, 20 minutes before the height of their career. Take away the fact that these are A-listers. They were 20 minutes away from the height of Will Smith's career, and he is in an emotional situation where he is willing to throw all of that away because of this one moment, and it's an interaction between him and his wife. I mean, forget, again, that we're talking about celebrities. That would make for a great movie. Just a great drama where like a marriage that is filled with such it seems to be anger or animosity or just filled with whatever, that you're right at the precipice of reaching the heights of what you've worked for, and something is causing, there's so much emotion going on that you are able to snap right before that. Your critical thinking of, how is this going to play out? Is this going to go well for me? Is this not going to go? Maybe I shouldn't say that. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Is gone. You have none of that. That is all out the window. So that's another reason why this is a fascinating story. And yeah, more stuff has come out about like that birthday party that Will Smith like made a documentary for Jada Pinkett Smith, and it made her angry and all stuff. Like there's that video of her trying to put him on social media. She surprises him trying to film him, and he looks terrified. He looks petrified, kind of like, can you leave me alone? You do all of this stuff to me all the time. And he's like, the only way I really make money nowadays is with social media. So I've asked you to not do this. It just seems, I don't want to do armchair psychology or something like that, but it seems like there's a big problem there. And it kind of exploded on the scene in a way where it was like, dude, you just killed your career. You could have just killed your career. What is going on that made that happen? That's kind of what's fascinating about this entire story, what's playing out. So yeah, what happens next? I think we got to look at the Apple movie. If Apple decides to no longer go with it, then I think at that point we all have our answer. Hollywood doesn't see him as bankable. Apple's ticket. Apple would rather take the movie that they are already in the middle of editing, that they've been working on. I mean, they've got to be working on that for more than 3 years from like the pre-production stages. They're more comfortable to say, get rid of that, throw that away. We don't want to. I know that was supposed to be our best picture. That was our ticket back to the Oscars, but we're going to have to do something else. Like for Apple, this is not just another movie. This is where it was kind of like stranded. I would think it was Finch. It's not one of those where it's just, yeah, put it out there. People will like it. It's got a big name. That was going to be their big take item. And if they decide that they're no longer going to trust Will Smith's image to get them back to the Oscars, that his image could kill their brand, like that's the stuff that I like to talk about on this channel. Like, what's the stuff that makes the decisions in terms of money? What's the stuff that moves? Because the money decisions they make there are the only way that we can tell what Hollywood actually thinks about the audience. And if the audience doesn't like Will Smith, the only way that we're going to see that reflected is based on the decisions the studios make. Because those moneymen there are not going to put a ton of cash behind something that are stressed about. They don't take risks. And Will Smith, I think we're a little bit more. And honestly, it is a big deal. The Academy banning him is a big deal for 10 years because they don't like to take risks. They don't like to take risks. They don't like to do things that make it seem like they're not in control. They don't like to make decisions that make them look like they lost control. They don't like to make decisions that make it look like they're just not on top of it. And I think that because they didn't kick him out, because they let him go up there and there we saw everyone give him a standing ovation. When if you were watching it, if you had tuned in or if you'd been watching the whole night, you're sitting at home and you're like, did he just throw everything away? Did he literally just throw everything? Like he was about to win. We've all watched Will Smith nominated for the Oscars. We know that Will Smith is a megastar. Did he just physically assault someone on live TV just before he reached the peak of his career? Like what is going on here? And I don't think it was the Academy's choice to do anything other than this, because if they had only given a slap on the wrist, it would have made them look even sillier than before. Them doing this, I think if you had any for the Academy, kind of allows people that still like the Academy to save face. Said, I would leave Hollywood and make my own stuff in China or India. You know what? I mean, China is quietly overtaking all of Hollywood. Last year, there were 3 movies at the global box office. Spider-Man was number 3. The other 2 Chinese productions that hardly screened anywhere in America. China's got a huge chunk of just the world's attention. I would say the biggest chunk of the world's attention. And then obviously they have 1 billion people over there that can go and watch their movies. If Will Smith wanted to do something like that, he could. If Will Smith also, if he might need to wait it out for a few years, he might need to go full independent and just put things out there because he's got to continue to stay in the conversation. If he follows a 10-year ban and goes along with, okay, I'll be back in 10 years, people will forget about you. 10 years? No one is so big that after going away for 10 years will still be interested after they come back. Because also Will Smith doesn't make the Daniel Day-Lewis movies. He does not make the movies where we're excited for the next Will Smith thing to come out. Will Smith is good. He's entertaining. He's fine. He's in a DC movie every now and then. He's in an Oscar bait, family friendly ish type movie. It's okay. You're not railing. You're not pumped. You're not standing in line. You're not buying your tickets 3 months in advance for the newest Will Smith movie. That's just not how it goes. And that's the thing. His image, just all of this tarnishing the good guy image. Like if Jack Nicholson had done this like 20 years ago, it'd be like, Jack Nicholson, he was smoking a cigar and he was 3 whiskeys in and he went and slapped someone on the stage. You'd be like, that's just like Jack Nicholson. He's always just so crazy. Will Smith is the lifestyle brand, wellness going on Instagram and doing those videos where like the waves are crashing and sunlight coming up. And then you get like the piano music and Will's voiceover is going, don't forget to love the person that you need to be. It's like, and then you go up and slap someone after years of talking about how you're like a vessel of love and you go up and say that. This is all just, going forward, just look forward to seeing the thing about the Apple movie. If Apple makes a negative decision about that, I'll more than likely go live. But now that he's dropped from the Oscars, I feel like Apple's going to have to make a decision here in the next week, because they're going to have to have made one internally because they're going to have to pivot big time to get a movie together that they're going to put together for the Oscars, because Will Smith just is not going to cut it anymore. That's just not going to work. Banned for 10 years. I'm happy they did it, honestly. The Academy has little credibility left, and if they'd kind of given him a slap on, there's no way that people that actually feel like it's wrong to slap someone on national TV just because someone told a joke. People don't like that. People don't like that. It makes you look stupid. It makes you look silly. And the Academy was already making themselves look silly. So it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. 10-year ban. We'll see what happens if they clarify later that means he can't receive an Oscar. If they don't clarify it, then it means, if he does something, he could get a nomination. But for right now, there is no way. You know what? Actually, he actually just came out with a statement. Will Smith just came out with a statement. Shortly after the Academy's announcement of Will Smith's 10-year ban, the actor, through a spokesperson, issued a brief statement of his own saying, I accept and respect the Academy's decision. And yeah, for him to keep with his brand, you gotta go with it. Maybe is it genuine? Is it not genuine? Is all of the apology stuff genuine? not genuine. It might be, it might not be. But if he's going to continue to want to go with the brand right now, you bend the knee. You take absolutely any penalty that you're given, and he's going to go away for a long time. We're probably not going to see from him, as it probably should. If he kind of starts trying to get projects going, no one's going to work with him. It's just poisonous. No one's going to vote for him for the next few years. He'd have to do something so good. That's the thing. I think it's going to go away for a good while. Selena Maria Bell says, looking forward to his Oprah interview. I don't think Oprah's going to touch this guy with a 10-foot pole for the next few years, but I mean, we'll see. All right, guys. Got other things to do. I'm going to have some more videos coming out later today, particularly about, there's a secret movie that Cannes is premiering from a big director. I think it's probably going to be David Lynch, but we'll talk about that later on the channel today, as well as a review is going to come out from Royal Tenenbaums, Wes Anderson's movie. And also tonight, there's going to be an interview dropping. I interviewed an entertainment lawyer that gave his predictions on how the Alec Baldwin saga is probably going to come to a close and what to expect from that. So if you have not already, please subscribe to 5 Minute Critic, share the videos, like the videos, and we'll see you next time. So yeah, subscribe for future updates on reviews and movie news.